Channel 25 breaking news.
Fire officials are battling a major fire at the White Bluff Inn. We have a crew at the scene right now. Our photographer just called us saying the roof has caved in.
Our photographer, James Taplin, was the only TV photographer on the scene as the fire consumed the building. Crews are going to be on the scene for a long time as the resort burns.
Well over 100 firefighters, thousands of gallons of water.
It appears to be a total
News
loss.
Channel 25 breaking news, breaking stories, tracking storms.
News Channel 25's Eric Gamble was out with the crowds and joins us live from the Central Texas Marketplace in Waco. What's it like now, Eric?
And if you can see behind me, the parking lot is still very full with shoppers trying to find that bargain.
For the Lady Bears. Now, Ann and Bruce, I got a couple spots for you. If you bring some hot dogs, I'll save a seat for you coming up tonight at the Lady Bears game at 7:30. We're live from Waco. I'm Brandon Davidow. Thanks for tuning in to sports. Bruce and Ann, back to you.
Looks like a great night for Lady Bears.
And Bruce, do you see this red flag behind me blowing in the wind? That's because this area is in a red flag warning. Now, the folks here at Spiegelville Volunteer Fire Department tell me things here haven't been that bad for grass fires so far this year, but other departments in Central Texas simply can't say the same.
All we can do is, take our safety to the next level and make sure something like that doesn't happen at one of our events.
And that's exactly what Ratu, the event and talent coordinator, will do this weekend.
I mean, these things would be unguided missiles if they came out of the shock tube. We used to inspect the trucks at the beginning of the weekend, and then they'd be good for 2 shows. Now every single show, we're coming back there.
And that's not all. It's straps for the shocks and engine and bulletproof plastic to protect the battery.
We have to have safety loops on our drive shafts. They have what's called a remote ignition interrupter. That way at any time if they feel the driver's doing anything unsafe, they can push a button and it shuts all the power off. We go through the trucks every week. After every show, there's certain criteria we have to meet, otherwise they don't let us run.
The truck I'm standing next to is Bigfoot, and now let's just see how big Bigfoot actually is. This truck is 12 feet wide and 10 feet tall, weighing about 10,000 pounds. And the tire over here is 66 inches tall, weighing about 800 pounds. So these numbers alone should show you just how important safety features are for the crowd.
Nobody wants to see spectators get hurt, and I mean, they're the ones, if it wasn't for them, would be unemployed because they're the ones who keep us going. So, I mean, they're number one priority.
It may not look like it, but here we are on Farm and Market Road 236. The park entrance is right over here. The only way in is to get in by boat, so today we met up with lead park ranger Mike Gomez of Texas Park and Wildlife. He never thought he'd have to trade in his park vehicle for this boat.
Well, it gets pretty discouraging. We don't know when the water's going to recede. We don't know what repairs are going to be needed, so just coming to work, it gets pretty discouraging.
The water was so high, we were actually dodging trees. The park was built back in 1933. It was the first park in the state of Texas, so its buildings have some historical significance. But right now, only the roofs are peeking out. Roughly about 1/3 of the park is flooded. Campgrounds are washed away, and its office is destroyed.
That is the handicap ramp, which obviously became detached from the office.
The last big flood event here at Mother Neff Park was back in 1992. It hasn't hit those levels yet, but the river is still rising.
And not only are the waters rising, but so could the cost of repairs. And park officials can put a price tag on the cleanup.
Again, until the floodwaters recede, we're not going to have any clue.
When I got in the van, he called me right back. And he said, "Linda, I've been shot, hurry." So then I just rushed as fast as I could from 6th Street to Clifton Street. And he was laying on the viaduct in the middle of the street.
Police say minutes earlier, Ali Liaquat Soul was putting some items in his car when a gunman approached, robbed him, and then shot the store owner in the upper torso.
He could barely talk. He was just telling me to take care of his kids. He loved me, he loved me. So I got on the ground with him and I kissed him, laid there with him for a while till The ambulance got there.
Soul was rushed to Hillcrest, but doctors couldn't save him. Linda Soul says she was told his lungs collapsed. Ali Soul has 5 children in his native Pakistan. He and Linda got married 8 years ago, and he bought that store for her 2 years later.
I'm still going to open my store. I will be there tomorrow. I will be there. He bought this store for me, and I'm going to run this store no matter what it takes. If anybody know anything, please come forward. Please. Because there is a maniac out there. Can just take somebody's life good as my husband was.
It's hard not to find any one of these residents who haven't taken in a stray dog at least once.
It makes me mad, yeah, because I have to do something with them. You know, it's mine now. I have to do something with it. You know, I either have to take it home and feed it till I can find a place for it, or, you know, sometimes you just got to turn your back on it.
It wasn't that far back that Dwayne Posey says he found this along the road.
There was his bag of food with his food bowl and his water bowl rolled up in the bag. I mean, you know, these guys got no thumbs. How's he even going to feed himself, you know? So I ended up taking that dog home.
Come on. This is Lucky. Just a couple of weeks ago, neighbors say they found him almost dead. He's lucky to be alive. But the sad thing is Lucky is just one dog out of dozens that have been found in this Lake Mejia neighborhood. This dog, now in the care of Anne Burgoon, says she found him in such bad shape, the local vet was positive he died. Sadly, that's the fate of a lot of these dogs. Sure, their previous owners may think they're pawning the dogs off to caring residents, but that couldn't be more far from the truth. It's pretty common to see a lot of these strays run over by these large trucks. Sometimes they starve, and in a lot of cases, they're even shot.
But I just don't know how people can be so heartless as to drop them off like that, knowing we can't take every dog in. I wish we could, but we just can't do it.